are going to cover the next topic of our lesson 6, administrative system and architecture during the medieval age. Now, if we talk about previous video, in the previous video, I have already informed you that this chapter will give you the story about the administrative system, architecture and literature which was prevalent at the time when there was medieval age or when the kings were ruling. Okay, and also we have begun the chapter with the story of a boy named Utsav, how his grandfather told him various things. We have already studied that in the previous video. Now, coming to today's topic, our first topic, administrative system. You very well know that what is administrative system. Nowadays also you are hearing about all the systems which we are seeing in the news, that nowadays what is going on in our country or in the world, how our government is taking various actions or various measures to prevent ourselves from this pandemic situation, or various things are happening. We all are listening to them in the news, in the TV channel, radios, etc. Now this is today's administrative system. There is vast difference between the administrative system which was there in the medieval age and in the modern day today. Okay, so in the medieval age we will talk about history. In the medieval age we are talking about the 7th century. After the 7th century, that means there came the Rajput kings, which is the chapter of 4 in your textbook. Rajput kings ke baare mein humne padha hai already. So many Rajput kings came, we have studied. They started their own rules, they started their own administrative system, and they worked according to their choice. But it is said that there was a very little change in the administrative system. ज़्यादा चेंज सारे किंग्स के एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम में नहीं था. Why? Because the one thing which the king has to do is to manage the state, manage his state or manage his territory, अपनी एरिया को मैनेज करना. So manage अगर किसी चीज को करना है तो we can find many similarities between them. So that is why there was not a lot of change in this administrative system of the different rulers. First point. Next is how it was done. Administrative system कैसे होता था? First of all, we will learn about how the kingship was given. Kings कैसे बनते थे? Kings को कैसे राजा बनाया जाता था, तो गद्दी पे बिठाया जाता था. Okay. First thing, kingship was hereditary. Kingship जो थी वो hereditary थी. Hereditary means the one which is passed from the parents to their children. So kingship ऐसा माना जाता था that earlier, in the earlier times, when the king is died, then their children will sit on that chair, sit on the king's throne, and they will rule their state, they will rule their area or their country. ऐसा माना जाता था. But it was not called compulsory. In some states, in some areas, it was automatically done. Automatically, the king's next elder son, जो उसके बड़े बेटे होते थे या कोई भी बड़ा बच्चा होता था उनका, that was made to sit on the throne. But it was not at all compulsory. In many states, the selection was done or election was done. How? See, first of all, higher selected by the king was called crown prince. When the king is there and when the king is having their children, then he is supposed to select one higher, means one child which will be considered as a crown prince. That means after the king, that particular child will sit on the throne, which will sit on the king's place. When king is alive, he is doing this thing at that time only. He was selecting their higher. अपना higher को वो पहले ही select कर देते थे. Next is, if there is a chaos that who will become the next king, who will become the next higher, then what is done? In some cases, the people of that state or the ministers of that state, they select their king. After the king has died, if there is no higher or if there is no one able to sit on the king's place, then people come forward and they select their own leader or their own king, or the ministers. Ministers means the ones who are working in the court of king. Kings के पास king अकेला जाके हर एक चीज नहीं करता था. King was the person who will give order. To whom he will give order? He will give the order to his ministers. And ministers are the one who will complete the work given by the king. वो वर्क पूरा करते थे जो किंग उनको कहता था. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कहीं से टैक्स कलेक्ट करना, कहीं से किसी चीज को इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचाना. So these were the ministers. So king is dead, and the ministers can also select. In some cases, ministers were selecting the next king, that who will become the next king. So there is an example given in the textbook. Example first is of Kashmir. In the Kashmir, King Yashaskhara, he was selected or enthroned by Brahmin group. यशस्कारा को ब्राह्मण्स के ग्रुप्स ने सिलेक्ट करके अपने किंग के थ्रोन पे बिठाया था. एंथ्रोन मींस किंग की प्लेस पे बिठाना, किंग बनाना. So this Kashmir example is there. Next example is of Gujarat. In Gujarat there is a name Kumarpal, name of the king. He was selected as a successor by the council of ministers. Here Kumarpal was selected by the ministers. Ministers ने खुद के बीच में मतलब खुद डिसाइड करके सारा डिस्कशंस करके उसके बाद कुमारपाल को गुजरात का किंग बनाया था. So these are the examples. This way the area, the country which the king was ruling, it was governed. And इस तरह से king अगर चला जाता था तो उसके बाद next king बनते थे. So next topic. One more point is given in this, that though there were very other persons under the king, there were ministers, and ministers के अंदर बहुत सारे लोग थे. They all were working for the king. They all were there to pass the order given by the king to the other persons. But many people become the victim of this administrative policies. Sometimes the king's order was not passed clearly, and that is why there was sometimes misunderstanding, and for that reason the other people suffered. The all common citizens suffered for this purpose. So that is why king was doing the work, but maybe the problem is that ministers were not passing, or the other persons under them, they were not doing their work properly. This is why इसके victim बनते थे common people. Okay, so now we will see what is the condition of other things at that time. Administrative system दूसरी जगह पे कैसा था. So now we will move to our next topic, administrative system in villages. See, in the medieval age also we cannot deny that if there is any area or any state, there are no villages. No, villages are there, and they were there at the medieval age also. But here we can say that there is a similarity in the villages. आज के जो villages है, the villages which we are seeing today, and at that time, थोड़ा सा there was similarity. In the administrative system also there were some similarity. When I will explain you, you will get to know that what are the similarities which were there. First thing, there were village institutions which were dealing with the administrative work of the village. Means as now we are having different panchayats, sabhas, zilla parishads, etc. They are called institutions which are conducting, managing the whole village. So at that time also there were some village institutions. The whole village were managed by them. And the first was, we will talk about panchayat. Yes, I know that you are very familiar with this word, panchayat. It is now also in some villages, and it was there also in the medieval age. Panchayat means institution. Panchayat was the head, means the whole administrative system was under the panchayat in village. First of all, head of that panchayat was called mukhi or sarpanch. You also are familiar with these two towards. Now also the head of the panchayat, जो सबसे बड़े होते हैं पंचायत में, जिसकी डिसीजन सबसे माना जाता है, they are called सरपंच और मुखी. And in the village at that time also the decisions of whole village, where they have to give water, where they have to supply water, and every other basic things were taken by the mukhi or sarpanch. Now head of the panchayat, that means mukhi and sarpanch, was responsible for protecting and delivering justice to the common people. Okay, all the things were under him. He was supposed to take decision to give punishment to the culprit. Culprit means the one who has done wrong. So they give punishment and give the justice to the one which has been the victim. जो victim हुआ है, जिसने सफर किया, उसको justice देना, and the one who has done wrong, उनको punishment देना. So Mukhi was doing, Sarpanch was doing this, and his decision was considered as a final word. Now also it is there. Earlier was also like the same thing. His decision, any decision the pancha is taking, means the sarpanch or mukhi is taking, it is considered final, and it is followed by the people of the village. They will have to listen and follow them. But in some cases there was exception. As you can see, panchayat is very familiar. We are familiar. It is now also in some village. Now also there is gram sabha in villages, जिसके बारे में अपने last year में already you have studied. So gram sabha at that time also was there. In some cases the gram sabha was taking some decisions, and the gram sabha was also responsible to give any verdict or to punish the culprits. कभी-कभी ग्राम सभा अपना फैसला सुनाती थी. They are supposed to give any decisions and they are supposed to give punishment to the culprits, which all the people have to listen and follow. So I hope that you have understood this system. It is very much familiar. Now also it is there in the villages. What else we can know about the administrative system of that medieval age? First thing is, to administer whole state, one thing which is required is money. So how the money problem was solved? The money problem was solved through land revenue. Main income of that state was land revenue. Land revenue means the tax which the king is taking, or the local authorities, local institutions are taking from the common people. Just why they are taking? To administer, to manage whole things in their state, their area. सारी चीजों को मैनेज करने के लिए लैंड रेवेन्यू को लेते थे, टैक्स लेते थे, पैसे कलेक्ट करते थे, and also it is considered as the main income. So we can say the main income of the king of that state was land revenue. Land revenue के बारे में आगे भी बात करेंगे. We will discuss it. So there were many different ways of collecting the land revenue in different kingdoms. We all know that the area was divided into small parts or small or big parts. So there was very different ways of collecting land revenue. In some cases the person will give money. In some cases they will give their own production. Produce means suppose the farmer is not having money, but they are cultivating on the land. They are doing farming, so they will give their cultivation, they will give their crop produce to the king or to their local authority as their land revenue. Okay, so there are many different ways, but the common thing which we can say is 6th part of the cultivation was collected as a land revenue. 6th portion, whatever the farmer is cultivating, whatever some person is doing work, that 6th part, out of that whole portion, 6th part was taken by them and they were given, they were considered as a land revenue. Tax के लिए वो माना जाता था. There were also many other taxes which were collected by the people. There were many different officers which were allotted for doing different activities or taxes. मतलब कि अलग-अलग चीजें कलेक्ट करने के लिए, अलग-अलग काम करने के लिए, there were many different officers. They were hired, they were means appointed to do these work. Okay, so next is some फर्स्ट यू हैव स्टडीड अबाउट लैंड रेवेन्यू। लैंड रेवेन्यू जिस पे फार्मर लैंड कल्टीवेट करता है उसको देता है, उसका पे देता है किंग को। नेक्स्ट इज पोर्ट एंड ऑक्ट्रॉय टैक्स। पोर्ट मीन्स देयर वर आल्सो persons who are doing business, they are sending goods, they are transporting goods from one place to another place. So might be they are doing this transportation through port, seaport. Seaport you very well know, samudra ke kinare se. So at that time also business was done like that. So whenever something is transported or it is taken from one place to another, that particular person has to pay some tax. That is called port and octroi tax also same thing, whichever things you are going to transport. But the main thing is might be this all are regarded as financial transactions. That is why they all are collecting taxes. ये financial transaction means there is a transaction in which sell or purchase is done. That is financial transactions. So next point, I hope this point is clear. Next is there were also different landlords which they were collecting taxes from the local people, and from the taxes which they are collecting, the some portion of that money they are giving to their king. वो अपने king को दे देते थे. Why they were giving? Because the king has only appointed that landlord to collect the money, and they are paying that money as a tribute to their king. कुछ न कुछ ऐसा होता था पुराने जमाने में that sometimes many people who are going to king, they are taking gifts with them, and king is supposed to collect the tax because he has to manage whole state or whole area. That is why landlords were paying a tribute to the king and they were giving money in that case. Sometimes money, sometimes crop production, whatever he is having as a collection. So now this was whole administrative system prevalent in the medieval age. First we have learnt about how the king becomes, how the next higher of the king becomes king. There are also different methods, and next we have studied about the administrative system in villages. Now the next topic we will cover in the next session. Till then, stay safe, stay home. Thank you and have a nice day.